Volatile markets, so much happening around the world. Who better than Uday Kotak to share his views on what's happened in the past and a foreseeable future? Hi Uday. Muhurat, same time last year, Nifty at 7825, saw it go all the way down to 6,900 levels during the budget and back to 8,600, 8,700 levels. Are these Kabhi Khushi, Kabhi Gum moments here to stay for the markets?
Kamlesh, the world is a crazy place. Okay? One day Brexit, another day Trump or no Trump, third day whether ECB increases QE or no, and the fourth day whether the Federal Reserve is going to increase interest rates faster or slower. In this entire volatility of the world, you're going to see volatility in capital markets. In that context, rather than getting excessively focused on level of Nifty, my strong advice to your customers and prospective customers and investors in general is think medium term. Think about quality companies who are doing things to build sustainable value over time. And your clients and investors should be investing in those kind of companies rather than looking at Nifty alone. On a broader basis, I do believe that volatility is the rule of the day, and you will continue to see it as you did in the last year, in the year to come as well. And therefore, good investing and good trading are going to be key for successful investment.
Uday, is Brexit happening an indication of how countries in the world are re-looking at their liberalized regime? Because on account of Brexit, trade barriers could get set in, currency could get impacted. Is there a new world order emerging?
You know, we are now in a situation where people of each country are wanting to have a better life. And there is a feeling that excessive globalization has led to significant concentration of wealth in a few and not enough benefits for the people at large. Therefore, this trend of people wanting more in their lives than what they seem to be getting is the reality. And this will lead to democratic institutions as well as autocratic institutions in various countries come under pressure. Therefore, whether it is the UK, whether it's the United States, whether it is France, Netherlands, or even a China, wanting to do better for the future is the basis of human aspiration. And this is something which will certainly impact policy, which has to get more inclusive and make better returns for all.
Were the US elections or Fed rates? What to worry about more?
Worry about everything, okay? This time the US elections have been one of the most bitter and personal in terms of attacks on each other. I haven't seen other elections in the US which have been so intense. I don't think we at this stage can predict the outcomes despite opinion polls, because we don't know after Brexit what voters really think. So even in the case of Brexit, the opinion polls were saying remain. The outcome was Brexit. So don't make too quick judgments now, wait for the results and the implications. However, like in every politics, what candidates say before elections and what they do once they are in power, with the Congress and the Senate controlling them, are two different things. On the Fed rate increase, I see one increase certainly in 2016 and probably two Fed rate increases in 2017. I think the interest rate curve in the US is gradually on the way up, and the spread between the Indian interest rates and the US interest rates is reducing.
Well, let's shift to India. Great monsoons, lower inflation, well-managed deficits, GST on the anvil, and good corporate results trickling in. Shouldn't India be a place to look out for in the world economy?
India is in a sweet spot, okay, from the point of view of the macro economy. All our macro indicators are probably amongst the finest that I have seen over the last 10 or 20 years, okay. So whether it is current account deficit, inflation, fiscal deficit improving, oil prices under control, all these factors are working extremely well for India. At the same time, we are seeing a significant growth in our financial savings, a continuing focus on household savings moving away from gold and real estate into financial savings, which is banks, mutual funds, equities, life insurance. Therefore, long term, the Indian saver is saying, I'm beginning to trust financial markets more than I did before. And on that, the fact that we still continue to have real interest rates, that is interest rates higher than the level of inflation, it's a good thing. It encourages people to move to financial savings. And keeping this macro in mind, along with a structural change in the financial savings scenario, means India is wonderfully positioned in a volatile world. Having said that, do not assume that India is insulated fully. There are times where there is global volatility with such a large amount of foreign portfolio investment in Indian markets. It will have some implications. But India's ability to withstand the shock is better than any other markets. And therefore, a more resilient Indian capital market is something which we will see. And over time, I am a believer that Indian financial savings will produce positive returns to savers.
Well, we've seen markets react with significantly higher intensity to everything that happens in the world. What should customers look out for over the next 6 to 12 months' time?
See, customers have to think about this in two different ways. If you are an investor, you have to look through intermediate volatility and look at your investment over a period of time. If you are a trader, you have to look at being alert and proactive to volatility. And keep in mind, your markets close at 3:30. Okay, so they are open for about 6 odd hours every day. But they are closed for 18 hours when the rest of the world is working. Therefore, you are taking an 18-hour overnight risk, which is a part of the game today. And anything happens anywhere in the world, markets are very sensitive and will have to start pricing it in. And therefore, when you are thinking about how you look at your clients, I think clients have to be clear. Are they investors or are they more short-term traders in nature? And strategies have to evolve around this fundamental view. But cutting through all this, I am a believer that over time, India's financial assets, including equities, will give extremely good returns to investors and or traders as they plan their future, especially in this new year. With that, let me wish all investors and Kotak customers a happy Diwali and a wonderful year ahead. India is well poised and positioned in a globally volatile situation. I am very hopeful and optimistic about a growing India as we take our place in the sun over the next 5 to 10 years. And I wish each of you to enjoy this new year and participate in India's sustainable growth story and invest across financial assets for a great future. Thank you.
Here's wishing all the customers of Kotak a very, very happy new year, a prosperous one, and hoping that markets from here on will do significantly better than what they did last year. Thank you, Uday, for being here and sharing your valuable insights on what's happening in the markets and all over the world.